What if the most profound life lessons, the really deep stuff, didn't come from the usual suspects like philosophers or uh, business gurus?
Right, not the standard sources.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But maybe from a tiny, resilient creature right under our noses.
That's an interesting thought to start with.
Well, today we're doing a deep dive into something exactly like that. It's an incredibly moving and insightful source, a Substack article.
Okay.
It's called Feather, Life Lessons from an Indie Cat by Ranga Jagannath.
Ah, feather. Yeah, this isn't just, a cute animal story. I mean, it is heartwarming, definitely. But it's packed with these surprising, really practical insights, all from the journey of this indie cat, Feather.
An indie cat, just so we're clear, that means like a street cat, right? Born outside, self-reliant.
Pretty much, yeah. Born in the wild kind of embodies that resilience from the start. And this article, it feels like a shortcut, almost, to understanding things like resilience, perspective, finding joy where you don't expect it.
Okay, so our mission today is basically to unpack Feather's, well, frankly, extraordinary journey.
Yeah, pull out those core nuggets of wisdom.
Exactly. To help you see how real deep insights can pop up from, well, even the most challenging, everyday kind of experiences. So let's get into it.
Okay, so the story kicks off back in 2018. There's this tiny kitten, really small, found near a neighbor's gate. Yeah. And the author, he admits, at first he just ignored it. But then the kitten, showing this persistence that kind of defines its story later on, it shows up near their steps. And it's clearly injured, and really needing help.
And their first reaction was just, okay, let's patch it up, some quick first aid.
Exactly. They figured, simple fix, the kitten recovers, goes on its way. But the reality was quite different. More heartbreaking, really.
Okay.
The kitten, who they end up naming Feather, maybe because he was so light, or just sort of floated into their lives.
Right.
The diagnosis was much, much more serious. Yeah, the vet laid it out. Feather's hind legs were paralyzed, his spine was twisted, intestines also twisted, all likely from a hit and run.
Oh, wow. That's devastating.
It is. And what's fascinating is how the author immediately links this trauma to a bigger life lesson. Right there. The first takeaway he pulls from this crisis is basically, you can get hit physically, mentally, multiple times in different ways. The key is make a quick assessment, tackle issues one by one, and just move forward.
That's a powerful idea right from the start.
Yeah.
But it's one thing to say make a quick assessment looking back, isn't it?
Sure.
What did Feather's reaction, or maybe the author's processing at the time, tell us about actually doing that when you're facing, well, paralysis, literal or figurative?
That's a great point. Feather's initial response, even in that state, was simply to be there, to persist, right? And for the family, their assessment wasn't about the huge, overwhelming picture. It was breaking it down. Step 1, recognize the injury. Step 2, get the diagnosis. Step 3, look at the options. It's about not letting that initial shock just freeze you. Instead, you focus on actionable steps, single things you can do, even tiny ones.
That makes a lot of sense. Just one step at a time. Don't get overwhelmed by the whole picture.
Exactly. And that initial ability to assess and move, even slightly, despite the shock, it really set the stage for the next huge decision they had to make.
Which was?
Well, given how bad the injuries were, they were at a crossroads: abandon Feather or take him in, shelter him.
And the author, he admits pretty frankly, he was leaning towards abandoning him at first.
Yeah, this is where the story gets really human, really relatable. He actually writes, and I'm quoting here, "Truth be told, I was okay with abandoning him, but better sense prevailed, and I was totally outvoted, and Feather came into our home and lives despite his frailties."
Wow. That's incredibly honest.
It is. And from that moment, that very human conflict, comes another principle. The opinion of the loudest mouth in a discussion, me in this case, need not be the right one.
Huh. That's remarkably humble. And it's such a crucial point for any group, isn't it? A family, a team.
Absolutely.
It reminds you that the loudest voice, or the most confident one, isn't automatically the one with the best idea, or even the most compassionate one.
Right.
It really shows the value of listening to quieter voices, different perspectives. Makes you wonder how many good decisions get missed because of that.
Precisely. It highlights that real wisdom often comes from the collective, not just one strong opinion. So, with that decision made, Feather's journey with them properly began. But as you can probably guess, taking care of him wasn't simple.
No, I imagine not. Paralyzed, internal issues. What did that involve day to day?
Well, for the next 4 years, it was constant, intense. The article mentions Feather had an extremely sensitive gut. He needed his spleen removed at one point.
Oh, wow.
And get this, they had to manually express fluid buildup every 2 to 3 hours.
Every 2 to 3 hours. Around the clock.
Seems like it. Plus, a constant cycle of washing clothes and blankets daily because of, well, the situation. It sounds absolutely relentless.
Utterly exhausting. Just the logistics alone.
Absolutely. And the article points out that any surface calm people might have seen wasn't accidental. It was the result of incredible unseen effort, this intense, hidden machinery running things.
Right.
Which brings us to another key lesson. Things are always more chaotic than they appear to be on the surface. That stillness people see. It only happens when the system behind it is extremely well-oiled and fully coordinated.
So it's not magic, it's hard work and coordination.
Exactly. And often, as the author points out, helmed by a strong leader who is very clear on the task. In their case, he says, without doubt, the leader was his wife.
The unsung hero behind the scenes. That resonates. So much effort often goes unseen, doesn't it? In families, workplaces, everywhere.
It really does. But despite all these challenges, these seeming challenges, as the article calls them, Feather himself had this incredible spirit.
Yeah. How so?
The author describes him as bindaas. It's a great word, often used in India. Means sort of carefree, unburdened, living totally in the moment.
Okay, I like that.
And that's apparently exactly how Feather was, despite everything. He loved to play, tease his older brother, who was a cocker spaniel named Cookie.
Even paralyzed.
Yep. The author emphasizes never once did any of his different abilities come in the way of living life to the fullest.
That is genuinely profound. And it leads straight to another core idea from the article, doesn't it?
It does, which is limitations are mostly in the mind of the beholder. And also, make the best use of the situation with the available resources.
Feather didn't seem to know he was limited, or he just didn't care. He found ways to play, to interact, to just live. He wasn't defined by his paralysis in his own mind.
Which really makes you think, doesn't it? How often do we put limitations on ourselves or on others based purely on our perception of the situation rather than what might actually be possible?
That's a really sharp question. Seeing Feather just ignore those perceived limits, it challenges that tendency. Is it just human nature to project limits? Or is there something animals maybe just instinctively know about dealing with adversity?
It's definitely food for thought. And then looking back on it all, those 4 years, despite the, quote, endless and sleepless nights and frequent trips to the hospital, the author calls it a blur. What a beautiful one. A beautiful chapter in our lives.
Even with all the hardship.
Even with that. They'll miss his meows, he says, but they'll always echo strongly for them. And this brings us to the final, really poignant insight from Feather's life. Life is short. Memories are all that will remain. Make them count and pleasant.
Wow, that hits hard. It's a powerful reminder, isn't it? To value the moments, even the tough ones, because in the end, they weave together into our memories, the things we keep.
They become this rich, indelible fabric.
So let's try and synthesize this. What does this all mean for you listening? We've kind of walked through Feather's story. How despite these huge physical challenges from that awful hit and run, he basically became this living example of resilience.
Yeah, and the power of collective action, like the family deciding together to keep him.
Right, and that idea that limitations might just be an illusion, something we impose.
And finally, the simple, enduring value of memories, even the difficult ones.
We've seen how one small creature's life, really, can offer these incredibly profound lessons. Things we can actually apply to our own challenges, maybe rethink our perspectives.
And just appreciate time, maybe, how fleeting it is.
Yeah. It definitely puts things into perspective, doesn't it? If a cat like Feather, found injured by the road, could end up teaching such powerful lessons about life, about facing adversity, about human compassion.
It really makes you wonder.
What seemingly small or challenging thing in your own life right now? Maybe a project that hit a wall, or a relationship that went through tough times, even just a daily grind. What unexpected insights might that hold if you were to pause, and really do a deep dive into it?
That's a great question to leave people with.
Something to think about. Until next time.